What's up guys, Bluddshed here. Today we're going to answer the question, what's the best class in Lost Ark? This is primarily for the NA-EU launch. A lot of us are gearing up. It's about a month away. And people have the question and they're a burning desire in their heart. Mr. Shed, what am I going to play? I don't want to get left behind. This is an MMO. You know, I want to pick the right thing. I want to be able to get groups. I want to be able to do damage. I want to top the DPS charts, okay? So the first answer I'm going to give you is, you would call it a cop-out answer. And the second answer is long-winded, and I'm going to do the best I can to give you the most details possible to give you the arsenal to tackle the NA-EU launch. These videos do take a long time to make, so if you could leave a like on the video, that would appreciate it. I also have a website you can see on top of the screen, bloodshed.com, where I post all these videos, and I'm gonna put all my starter guides, leveling guides, all that stuff. It's almost done. It'll be up definitely before the launch, so stay tuned for that. The answer I truly believe for this question, what's the best class? What I really believe in my heart of hearts is play whatever you want, right? That's gonna get you out of the bed in the morning to grind. That's gonna be the thing that excites you to play the game. You know, metas come and go. I would just play whatever speaks to you the most. Lost Ark does a really good job across PvP and PvE, especially PvE, at making the game balanced for everybody to where you won't have these issues where you're getting left behind, right? A lot of the power and your performance is based on you and the effort you put into your character, okay? So this is what I truly believe. All right, now if I'm forced to answer this on a technical level, let's start off with PvP and talk about supports, okay? So supports can hella super carry games heavily, okay? So we get that across. You're talking about the Gunlancer, Bard, Paladin. They have a big impact on the outcome of a match. But the question is, does the NA-EU audience, have they played on Russia? Have they been watching videos? Do they know how to play with the support? Because you have to be able to optimize them, right? I don't think that's gonna be the case. I think playing a support at launch anyway, maybe the first couple weeks to even a month maybe, is gonna be a complete and utter cluster unless you just get lucky with matchmaking, or you just, or maybe everybody does know how to play the game, you know? I think it's gonna be a complete cluster. Think about, you know, any MMO you ever played, you know, especially early on, they're tunnel visioning, they're not peeling for healers, they're not supporting each other, working together. This kind of thing is like a human nature problem, not necessarily a Lost Ark problem. But once people get veterans and people understand the game and how it works, like most people don't even know how to build, right? They're gonna be putting points in random places, they're gonna be using random skills and abilities. They won't even know where to buy the Chaos Stones to use their ultimate, right? So you can carry hard as one of these three supports, Pally, Bard, and Gunlancer, but it just depends on your team, you know? So that's the thing here. So I'll briefly go over each of the supports, because I think they're really impactful in both PvP and PvE, but we're specifically talking about PvP right here, okay? So Pally, easy to understand. I would probably spec into more damage, like I said, because you might not be getting the support you need for your team. So you're probably gonna have to carry in terms of damage. Tons of impact, but the team needs to work together. So if I was to play one support, based on my experience, I'd probably go Pally. Bard, I may actually bring up some Bard gameplay. I don't want to interrupt this badass blaster, but you know, bring up some support. Okay, so Bard is my favorite support. I love the way the class feels. I like the way it plays, the sounds. I like the little harp sounds. You might get pissed by those little harp sounds. I love everything about it, right? The vibes, man. Bard's cool. I typically lean toward casters in most games. So it's like a caster to me, and it just comes second nature, right? I just started playing Bard literally recently. So I'm not saying I'm the best Bard player, I'm just saying it resonates with me. And when picking your best class, you probably want to pick something that resonates with you. It vibes with you, you know, it's your spirit class, right? So tons of impact again, but the team needs to work together. Bard's pretty awesome. The Gunlancer, high damage, hard to kill, straightforward. People might not, the thing about Gunlancer, which it could be probably my second pick for the strongest support to PvP with in the beginning, So Pally 1, Gunlancer 2, Bard 3. I don't think people know how to deal with Gunlancer. Even on RUNA, I feel like sometimes they're like, do we attack it? Do we not attack it? Do we CC it? Do we ignore it? I don't know. Like, I feel like he's just there disrupting people. And then Gunlancer has super high burst, right? So you think he's a tank, he's not going to do anything. Gunlancer has maybe the highest burst potential in the game, or at least it's up there. So yeah, definitely don't sleep on Gunlancers, man. They be kicking ass. So the supports are definitely a good choice for PvP. It's just, I don't know if the collective community is going to support you in the beginning. So just go through that initial frustration. Maybe just go through and level, do your PvE stuff, and then check back a week later and see how much of a bloodbath everything is. I don't know. All right, so for PvP, let's talk about the top 3 classes to solo carry games. But based on me talking to vets and me talking to people on stream and my own experience with each class, I would say the number 1 top big dog carry for NA launch is going to be Blade. Okay, so Blade by far is the best solo carry class because it's super easy to get off combos. It's really good engage abilities. You can just jump in, do the damage. It's really easy to land their big damage combos. Lots of super armor to basically make you immune to crowd control and all these types of things. Less likely to be locked up because of it. It's just all around a badass because of the lower skill ceiling. Now, there's definitely a difference between a new Blade player and a super high level Blade player, but I mean, in the beginning, it's easy to land those combos, right? And then that's key, okay? That's key to doing for the masses, right? You're gonna get Blade, you're gonna get in there, you're gonna have a high impact, where if you play some other classes, you might have to go through the growing pains of learning your class more in the beginning, okay? The second class I would say that I can carry super heavy is Gunslinger. I might actually have some Gunslinger gameplay for you guys somewhere. All right, so Gunslinger has insane mobility, great damage combos, but it has an insanely high skill cap. So I just started playing Gunslinger PvP a few days ago, so I'm super trash myself. But you have 3 stances to swap between, so it does take some getting used to. It's more like a cycle system. You can't just click on the stance itself. But you better start playing now, okay? If you're gonna play Gunslinger, to master everything, it's a good chance to probably get in an RU and play now. Or when the game comes out, it's gonna take a lot of practice. You're gonna have to commit to these next 2 classes to see the benefits, okay? So Blade, easily choice by far, number 1 carry. Gunslinger, probably my second choice. And my third choice is gonna be Soulfist. Soulfist, another difficult class, super high skill ceiling, but tons of damage potential, okay? You put in effort, you put in the work, you're gonna be going, Super Saiyan God Mode 3 in no time. If you don't know, it's like a Dragon Ball Z class. You can drop some sick combos. Once you learn when to go in, when to stay away, you don't have that much survivability once you go in, so you have to pick your battles. But when you do line everything up, I mean, it's completely bonkers, right? You got Spirit Bombs and Kamehamehas, you'll be doing a good job. Yeah, it's just gonna take practice, okay? So those are my top 3 solo carry games, not counting the supports, right? We're just assuming that nobody knows what they're doing. I think those 3 are gonna just obliterate. Besides, another thing with Blade is Sorc is coming to NA. We're not gonna have Summoner. And I feel like that is really good for Blade also, because Blade, I feel like, can get in the back line and just destroy sorceresses. But again, at a high level, they'll know how to counter blades and all that stuff. But as a new player, these sorceresses aren't going to know their ass from their elbow, right? So they're going to be like, how do I do this? And then the blade's going to jump in and then just wombo combo. And then the Sorc's going to reroll to Blade. I feel like that's going to happen the first week for a lot of the new players. For the best PvE classes, okay? So in my opinion, similar, I guess, how we started out with PvP, the best PvE class is going to be Bard and Paladin. I'd put them, if this was a tier list, they'd be like in my S tier, okay? Everybody wants you, Bard Pallies out there, you listening? Everyone needs you. You gotta have it. You're the gotta have it size if you know the reference, okay? Literally, you make everyone's life easier. You make everyone do more damage and help everybody survive mechanics. It's just, in my opinion, it's just the top of the top, the cream of the crop for PvE. Everybody needs you, right? You're such a important part. And later on in tier 2 content, you need one support for each group. So you're only going to get needed more and more and more. As for the tank, right? Our Gunlancers, I would put them with the DPS because we're getting tier 1, right? So we're getting tier 1 content. It's only a limited amount of content. There's a lot there, but it's not like the hard mode rating that where we really need the tanks and we really need the supports, right? So Bard Pally S tier, and then Gunlancer is with everybody else. So I'm grouping everybody else together. You know, I understand that there's some classes that don't really come into their own without certain engravings, but if you're just talking about tier 1 content, I think you should play whatever you like. I don't think it's as sweaty or as intense, you know, for tier 1. I think you should play what you want to play, enjoy the game. You're going to be doing a lot of exploring, collecting, sailing around, doing story missions, you know, things like that in T1, you know, chaos dungeon dailies and stuff. So I would play whatever you like the most, whatever resonates with you. You will stand out in tier 1 by knowing the game, knowing the mechanics, not getting one shot by certain bosses, you know, knowing what to do, knowing how to gear, you know, your legacy power goes a long way. The effort you put into your, you know, getting your skill points, you know, so just going through collecting all your skill points, you're going to do so much more damage. Going through getting the right engravings for your class, knowing the right build for your class. These things, honestly, are going to set you apart. Where 90+% of players are not going to have the right build, the right engravings, none of that stuff, right? They're not going to know their ass from their elbow. And this is where you come in, right? People are going to remember you for being a good player, and then you can just reroll your class whenever you want, you know? So this is just T1. That's pretty much my opinion on PvE is Bard Pally, and everybody else just learn the game and kick back and enjoy it. You know, it's a badass game. It's my favorite game right now. I can't wait for the launch coming out here shortly. If you got value out of the video, if you could leave a like, that would be pretty awesome as I'm trying to grow my Lost Ark channel. I mean, as I'm trying to grow the Lost Ark community here. I mean, we're heavy Diablo community, so we're always welcoming the new Lost Ark bros and sisters out there. So that's going to be all for me today. Again, check out the website for the latest and greatest builds. This is Bluddshed, and I'm out of here. Peace.